is all made up. It's all in place. This will have two sides on it. You can see there's one here. There's one to go on the other side, which I have to pick up from the metal scrap area where I get it. It's brand new, but it's reclaimed metal from companies that have gone bust or selling stuff off. But it's all brand new steel. There's another one there on the other side, you can see. So obviously we have to make sure that this is perfectly in line when we put this piece on. So the frame's made up. This chipboard, this compressed chipboard, then goes on the top to make the base floor, and then we'll start making the sides of it. What I need to do is obviously get all this stuff pre-painted so it preserves it. It won't be going out in the winter, but it's white wood, and it's rough white wood. So what I'll do is I'll take it off, paint it underneath, paint it on top, and then pin these boards onto the base frame. And I'll show you that when it's done. It's all screwed together. We just put noggins in between it, and then he's cut out these ends here. Initially we were thinking about putting some noggins into these, but obviously with the depth of that, and we put it sideways on rather than up high, because it would make the caravan sides too big. So what I have to do now is turn this thing over and paint it in some kind of protection, otherwise the weather's going to get to it. We have quite high humidity here, and during the winter and summer it's a massive amount of difference, warpage in the wood that we have. This garage door over is a particular issue with it. You can see here, this is one of the pins, the pin and box. So now you can see that's a perfect fit in there. So we'll grease one side up, and he's put a little taper on it so I can actually weld it. And he's cut the box down. The box was really, I can't remember, I think it was, I can't remember. It was nearly 2.5 times the size of that. It was massively heavy. So obviously there'll be a pin and a receiver, and they will be welded on to make the axle turn. So that's the frame all welded up underneath. Amir did this while I was away. I did most of the welding. There was a few pieces to do on top, and then he turned the whole car over, welded the underneath side here on each one, and then painted it up. He's also took the wheels off and put the box sections on the end here, which you can see, and the same on this one here. You can see the box section there now. So what I need to do now is paint is get the pin welded on, and then work out how I'm going to do the box section drop, because obviously this pin here is not long enough. There's only 25 centimeters, and I think it's something like a 48 or 50 centimeter drop. So what I have to do is put the pin onto the axle, the box onto the other end, and then weld this. Again, he's put a taper on it. Weld this to some kind of extension, which will go from here down, and then from the front, a support from the front onto the lower box section, not onto the axle obviously, or the pivoting point, but onto the actual cage that's going to hold the box. So there we are. So we're getting on with it, and you can see the upset now on this here all the way along, and as I said, there'll be another one on the other side. So the idea will be, once the house is complete, the caravan part is built, the wood box caravan, we can pull it on. It'll sit into these, and we can pull it with a winch and slide the whole thing on. So on the bottom of these will be again another set like this, these things here, and they will fit directly into here, and they will be greased so that they slide onto these ones. And so with frictionally they should move quite easily because they're greased up. So I've got it on this trolley at the moment, but you can see how easy that is to roll that backwards and forwards. And obviously this is where the pivot point will be. So I'll just set this up now. And what I'll do is make up this pin and box. I'll have to measure exactly where the centre of that is, and then obviously the box section will go on the other side, So what I'm hoping is we end up with kind of something like that. That should kind of do it the kind of distance we want. So that's going to now leave quite a gap between there and there. I think it's something like 15 centimetres. So I've got some extra box section from my local supplier, and I'll make a cradle for this to be welded to so that the whole thing can pivot, and then these stabilisers then just hit up onto the bars on the frame and stabilise it all when it's stationary. So I'll get to see it when I've got it sorted out, hopefully. Okay, so I've welded the shaft in place. So there's the bottom one. Welding's not great, but it's strong. Welded it onto that one there. And I've just tacked in these two support bars here, one there and one there, and then I've got two other pieces here. I don't want to weld anything more on Sunday tomorrow. That'll be good to my neighbours. So I've got a piece cut out there, and I'll do the same with this one. So they will fit in like this, across there like that, as a support, just an extra support. And yeah, it should be good. The cock-up I've made, I wanted this to be obviously sliding, this pivot, so I can put grease in it, but what I will have to do is put a stop in it. I think it might go down a little bit more when I turn it. If you can see under there, they're quite close, those stabiliser nuts. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'll see if I can turn it now. I'll put the camera down, I'll put it on this stand and see if it'll work. So that should, in theory, pivot. Oh my god, there we go. There we go. My god, this wood is rotten. God, so tomorrow I'll get all this welded up. It won't make a lot of noise, so I'll cut the other two pieces up in my top garage and it'll make so much noise. Put the two supports in here, one across there and one across there. And then I'll put some preservative paint that sickens there, I think on the side there. I'll put that, this is the bottom of the floor, so I'll put all the sickens paint on it, let it dry, and then tomorrow night a friend will come over. We're going to have a couple of beers and a barbie, and we'll flop it over, and then I can do it the other side, and then get the boards on, and then start making the sides, which will be the complicated bit, I think. But there we are. So now all I need to do now is put an A-frame on here. I'll just put some bars sticking through and build an A-frame so I can pull it with the tractor, with that little John Deere. Cut those pieces up in the top garage because it's Sunday morning, Sunday lunchtime. Not to make too much noise. It's a bit more, yes, it's a bit more insulated up there. So I've put them in. I've just tacked them in. So that should be more than strong enough now to hold that front bit. I'll do all the welding later, but what I really need to do is get on with this and get it painted one side so it dries today, and I can turn it over later tonight and do the other side, and then get this crush board on, or MDF, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm going to do now, but I think that's more than strong enough to do the job. And I'll go back and weld it later, weld it all, clean it up, paint it. We should be in good shape. So I've got about a third of it done. You can see that'll just preserve it. So this is the bottom side, if you like. So I'll get this done today, and then what I'll do is take the frame off, turn that board, the floorboard in there, upside down, put it onto this, and then paint the top half, and that way I can get whatever drips on it. There's no problem because it'll be the underneath of it. But it's a laborious job. I hate painting. Painting and rubbing down are the two things that really, I'd rather watch paint dry. But there you go, like fishing I suppose, but if you're into fishing, I guess, whatever. But you see it'll make a nice seal on it, and being whitewood, non-planed, yeah, it'll just help that a little bit, give it a few more years of life. So it's worth doing. It's just laborious. So I'm gonna, because it's Sunday, I'm gonna put this video up today, because Sunday tends to be a good day when people are not doing anything, or they flick through YouTube, whatever. So yeah, on that note, I'll say as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby.